Here's what most women will never hear from a man. We don't fall in love by choice. We fall in love by trigger. Every man has 3 hidden buttons in his brain, and when you press them in the right sequence, without even realizing you're doing it, he'll start to feel emotionally hooked. He'll start thinking about you during meetings. He'll check his phone and wonder why your silence feels louder than your words. And he'll swear he's never felt anything like it before, even if you're not his type. Even if he told his friends he's not looking for anything serious. Once those emotional switches flip, he's done. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, that sounds manipulative, let me stop you right there. This isn't witchcraft and it's not about tricking men. It's just emotional psychology, the kind most people never learn because they're too busy playing texting games and who should message first Olympics. What you're about to learn will make you see attraction differently because love isn't random, it's coded. But 1, the safety chaos switch. Here's where most women get it wrong. They think men want peace. We don't. We want peace with a pulse. It sounds contradictory, but every man lives with 2 competing drives. One part of us craves safety, the kind of woman who makes our nervous system relax. The other part craves stimulation, that spark of unpredictability that keeps dopamine humming. Give us only peace and we get bored. Give us only chaos and we burn out. But give us both and we get hooked. I once dated a woman who was pure calm, sweet, predictable, endlessly kind. I felt safe, but never alive. Then came one who was all fire, exciting, impulsive, emotionally caffeined. I couldn't breathe. But the one who had both, the one who made me feel home and hungry at the same time, I couldn't get her out of my mind. Why? Because my brain didn't know what to expect next. That small dose of uncertainty, mixed with warmth, releases dopamine, the same chemical behind craving, attraction, and risk. That's what keeps a man thinking about you long after the conversation ends. And no, this isn't about playing games or pretending to be hard to get. It's about emotional rhythm, the natural balance between comfort and curiosity. It's when a man feels, I'm safe with her, but I never want to stop discovering her. In real life, it looks like this. You're affectionate, but you have boundaries. You care, but you still have your own orbit. You're open, but not an open book. You're warm, but never predictable. You don't need to ghost him. Just stop narrating your entire life like it's a podcast. Let him wonder what you're smiling about. That little curiosity gap, the space between what he knows and what he feels, is where addiction begins. Because dopamine isn't released when a man has the reward. It's released when he anticipates it. He doesn't crave what's his. He craves what feels almost his. The paradox is simple. Emotional security doesn't come from routine. It comes from depth. He doesn't stay because he's certain of you. He stays because you make him feel something his brain can't categorize. Calm in the chaos. That's the safety chaos switch. The difference between she was nice and I can't stop thinking about her. Button 2, the significance mirror. Here's the truth most women never hear from men. We don't stay for the prettiest woman in the room. We stay for the one who makes us feel significant in ways no one else does. Most women spend energy trying to impress us, but the real addiction begins when a man feels like he's the one impressing you. Every man walks around with a quiet, unspoken question. Do I matter? He'll never admit it, but it drives everything. How we compete, how we succeed, and how we love. The woman who answers that question without turning it into flattery gets under our skin in a way that lasts. Here's the psychology. Men crave ego validation without ego inflation. We don't want to be worshipped. We want to be witnessed. There's a difference between flattery and resonance. Flattery says, you're amazing. Resonance says, I love how focused you get when you talk about something that matters to you. That hits different because it shows you see the version of us we rarely show anyone, the man behind the effort, not the performance. You don't win a man's heart by being perfect. You win it by being present, by noticing, not praising, by acknowledging the small, unspoken efforts that reveal who he really is. When you reflect those parts back to him, his seriousness, his protectiveness, his quiet drive, you create what psychologists call emotional significance. And once a man feels that with you, he'll keep coming back for it like oxygen. But there's a line between admiration and auditioning. You're not his personal hype woman. You don't need to clap for every small thing he does like he just solved world hunger. The moments that matter are the subtle ones. When he's not trying to impress you, that's when your words cut through his armor and reach something deeper. Because underneath all our confidence, every man fears being replaceable. The woman who reflects his soul instead of his status becomes unforgettable. That's button 2, the significant mirror. The woman who sees him for who he is, not what he has, becomes his emotional home, the one place he finally feels important without having to perform. Button 3, the vulnerability loop. If the first 2 buttons draw a man in, this one locks him in. It's called the vulnerability loop, and it's the rarest to activate, mostly because most people get vulnerability completely wrong. You can't make a man open up by saying, "You can talk to me." We've heard that 100 times. It sounds like a therapy invitation we didn't ask for. Men don't open up when they trust you. They open up when they see you trust them first. I learned that the hard way. One woman kept asking, "You can tell me what you're feeling, right?" And every time she asked, I shut down even more. Then there was another woman. She didn't push. She didn't pry. She just shared something small, honest, unpolished. She said, "I get nervous when I don't know what's next, but I'm working on it." No drama, no oversharing, just realness. And that moment, her quiet honesty made me drop my guard, because vulnerability is contagious. When one person lowers the armor, the other instinctively mirrors it. Psychologists call it mirrored safety. It's when both people's brains release oxytocin, the bonding chemical that glues trust, intimacy, and emotional safety together. There's a secret ingredient behind that. I can't explain it, but I feel at home with you connection. So if you want a man to open up, stop trying to pull his walls down. Just show him yours aren't made of steel. You don't need to trauma dump your childhood or confess your deepest fears. Just let him see your human side. Share what you're still learning, not only what you've already mastered. Men fall hardest for women who make vulnerability feel safe, not staged. Because here's the paradox. He's not addicted to your body or your words. He's addicted to the relief he feels when he doesn't have to pretend he's bulletproof around you. He may not know why, but his body does. It recognizes peace. And once he's felt that, every other connection will feel like background noise. That's button 3. The vulnerability loop. It's where trust turns into attraction, and attraction quietly becomes emotional dependence. So here's the big reveal. The part most dating advice never touches. Love isn't found, it's felt. And the women men can't forget, they don't chase, they evoke. They don't win us with effort, they win us with emotional rhythm. And once you learn to speak that emotional language, everything changes. Because men don't fall for women who have it all. We fall for the woman who makes us feel everything we've never been allowed to. Thanks for watching.